What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Kels.
And just in case you forgot, my name is Miguel Perez.
And today we're here at the lovely Airplay studio making things happen, making things sound so crispy.
Yes, real good. Doing an awesome time. Awesome job.
He's got a setup right off the rip now. We don't even got to play around unless Miguel wants to watch himself some football.
Hey, by the way, Texans won. Texans won. You know what I'm saying? People tell me left and right, you're from Texas, you're not for the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys with the passion, Kelton, just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you live in Texas. Yeah, therefore I'm for the team Texans, which we won, by the way. So early in the season, I'm looking forward to a great season out there. We're going to do good. So let's get down to the topic at hand. Am I communicating in that enough for you? That the Dallas Cowboy fans out there hear me? I hate your team. Yes, I do. All right, let's go.
Here's the thing. I will say one thing on this topic
by the way,
that
no
makes me
offense,
laugh.
Frank. I know it's your team. I'm about to get kicked out of the studio.
Dude, you're going to get so many people that's like, you know what, I'm not watching this no more. But you know what's funny about that, though? I will say, I don't think that I'm against their team. I think the Dallas Cowboys have done a great job with their marketing. I don't care about the team itself, but their marketing is really good. I give them that every day of the week.
They're self-proclaimed America's team. They gave themselves that title.
Exactly.
They haven't been America's team since Troy Aikman, like 30 years ago. They won a Super Bowl. Ever since then, they haven't done nothing, number one. And it's not even the team themselves. I kind of used to like the Cowboy team, Frank, but man, their fans are just, oh God, you just can't stand them.
It's funny that you say that, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's usually like the
fans that make you want to hate them.
Fans that are like, I've been seeing memes all over Facebook. It's hilarious to me because it doesn't bother me because I don't care enough.
Yes, I got
but
it.
like, dude, you get these guys that are just like, dude, we won a game. We're 1-0. We're going to the Super Bowl this year. And I'm like, bro.
They say that every year. They're 2-0 and they're bragging on that like, oh, that's it, man.
Yeah.
They're about to go into the playoffs. But you know what? At the end thereof, and it might happen today. This is the first time I kind of really want to get through a podcast because I want to see the ending of the Cardinals and Dallas. And I think they shouldn't even be a team.
Yeah.
This shouldn't even be a game. But it's looking pretty good right now for the Cardinals. So
I've seen that.
So I'm communicating to you, and I'm communicating to them that I hope the Cows lose. No offense, Frank. I know it's your team.
That is one thing that we are here to talk about today is good communication. And
yeah, see, I want to watch this video, so let's watch it, and then we'll go from there.
yeah, we've got a video of you're going way too quick into it. You gotta slow down. I know you're
Dude,
excited.
I'm just communicating the way I normally communicate. Let's go, Frank.
I've got this video that I showed these guys, and I really want to, show the world as well, because this is something that I feel like we as men and women in relationships, sometimes we don't know how to really communicate. We don't really understand the best way and best route to do it. And I think this video, I don't understand the women's perspective, but I do understand the men's. And this is one of those videos that it just explains everything we needed.
Well, the whole thing is it's about communication.
It's how it's said too.
It's the second reason. Number two, the highest. Number one is money. Number two is communication. Number two reason people end up having problems in their relationship.
They end up getting in divorce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
So
why don't
here we
you?
go.
Yeah, why don't you hit it for us?
I don't
Frank?
think my husband respects my position as stepmom.
Let's talk about that.
Your children, the ones that I did not create, they're allowed to do what you do. They sleep all day. They don't come out of the room. They don't do what they need to do.
Wait a minute, hold up. I want you to come over here. I want you to watch this.
This part is
Let me show you something. Go
beautiful.
sit over there.
That's old school lady right there.
If you
I
talk to me
have a
like this,
little
I'm gonna do it.
concern because your sons are not demonstrating that they are learning to be the kind of man I know you want them to be. They're going to demonstrate the kind of man you teach them to be. And I'm not really sure what to do about that. Can you hear me?
That was beautiful.
That's how you do that.
Well, okay, let's
The woman has to talk to her man
finish.
to get him to move the way she needs him to move. You're not going to get nothing with that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Y'all got children. You got wives that you're raising, husbands that you're raising. You don't have time for this. And you want to build up a business and don't take care of the foundation? so that you lose it and your sons see you as a failure? Y'all need to get this thing together. And when she says something to you, understand she's doing it from a place of love. But you gotta love him like a woman. Don't scold him. Pull him up. Be a woman. Put your favorite perfume in the lowest part of your crevice and dare him to go down there and sniff it. That's what I'm talking about. And what you bringing to the table? What you bringing to the table, brother?
Like I said, that was an amazing video in my opinion.
Yes, yes.
It really communicates how to communicate because, man, I've had this problem in my life before. I have this problem with my previous relationship. I would sit there and I would deal with all the things going on, and I was always in trouble. I was always doing something wrong, and I would be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? How am I doing wrong? There was no communication, no explanation. They were just, you're not doing this, and this. Okay, well then I do it. It was wrong the way I did it. If she sat down to me like that and said, hey, this is the way that, is going on, the exact same way, I would have done exactly. I would have known exactly, because men do understand the words and the word spoken differently than women can speak it or can understand it.
Yeah.
We're too logical.
I like this video. We watched part of it right off the bat, and I said, I like it, but I really didn't pay attention to the full part. The only thing I don't like about this video is the Hollywood they threw in there, because as soon as the lady started talking, do you want your man? Here comes the piano. Ding. Ding. They changed the whole thing. It was like, no. Did you feel that? Of course you felt that. You were playing piano. But make it real, which that's what they should have done in the first place. Yeah, they should have just, that was for entertainment purposes, but they shouldn't even play that piano and just do exactly what she was doing, because she was right.
Engineers need a job too.
Yeah, but that was like that.
Whenever you bring, and I'm just going to say
but
this.
I like what she said. I like what she brought. I just didn't like that part. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you this. That's important, though. And whenever it comes to this world, adding some sort of sound effects helps people connect, because music does, like we've talked about. Music
Savage
helps.
Beach, it changes the culture. Not the culture, the atmosphere.
Yes.
You know
and
what
I
I'm
think sometimes you add those things.
But here it is. If I'm in an argument with you,
dun, dun, dun,
the music is not going to come out in the middle of it, and everything going to be, because I've had 1,000 arguments with women, and not one time did the piano come out, or music come out playing.
I'm going to carry around a little boombox with the thing.
So like that. But,
I'm going to carry around a boombox with little program of like feeling, and I'm going to start doing it to you now.
But like I said to you before, and the statistics might have changed since the last time I checked, but they said number 2 reasons for couples to breaking up or getting divorced or getting separated is the lack of communication. Number 1 was money. You know what I'm saying? 2 was the lack of communication. So it's big. How you communicate with one another is very important. And I shared the story with you a little bit while ago, and I'll share it right now.
Yes.
But I was at a restaurant bar, watching the game, and I was, eating, and I was having a good time, and this girl ended up, and this happened last week, matter of fact.
Yeah.
She came, sat next to me, and of course we started talking about football. I'm a communicative, but I love talking. I could be the perfect stranger and have a great time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we were talking, and we're just carrying this conversation. We're laughing, we're asking questions and stuff like that, back and forth. And all of a sudden she gets up and goes to the restroom. Okay, I have been sitting down for a while because I've been watching football all day, so I decided to stand up. So I stood up, wanted to stretch my legs, you know what I'm saying? And didn't think nothing about it, continue watching. She came back to the seat and looks at me, and she's like, why are you standing? And I was like, excuse me? She's like, why are you standing? I said, I don't know. I just felt like standing up. I've been sitting down all day. She's like, no, go ahead and sit down. I was like, excuse me? She goes, yeah, sit down. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, this just, I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. Just sit down. And I was like, you know what? I got my drink, and I tapped her drink. Then I walked away. I just walked away on her, man. And they're just like, what the? Do you not know Miguel Perez? And I guess you didn't.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, that just seemed a little rude.
It was rude. It was odd. It was out of nowhere. And I'll do what I want to do. I'm sorry. I'm just that type of guy,
We know.
Until a woman puts a ring on this finger, then I might, hey, okay, communicate to me. Woman, sit down. Woman,
Yeah.
I'll sit down. But You're a perfect stranger. I don't know nothing. We just been carrying conversation. Why are you
Yeah.
going to tell me to sit down
Right away. That was just,
it just was weird to me.
it shows that she wanted a little more control.
Right off the bat.
I mean, she may have had a reason for it, but that's just weird in my
It's
opinion.
another one of those.
If I
times where-
was her friend for years, or I was her brother or uncle, whatever the case,
It
or
would've
her
been
man,
different, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe. I just met you, woman.
But even at that point, I mean, I feel like that would still come off as rude. Like, hey, just sit. Like, I need you to sit down. Like, could have even been nicer. But that's why I was telling you earlier. Like, if she would have came to you and been like, instead of saying, hey, why are you standing up? Hey, what's going on? You know, and you'd be like, obviously, you'd probably be like, oh, I don't know. What do you mean?
If she would have said, "Hey,
Yeah.
are you okay?" and I was
Yeah.
like, "That was because you're standing up," and I would have probably told her because I've been sitting all day and
she'd
I
be
needed
like,
to
"Okay."
stretch. I probably would have sat down. I had just
Yeah.
planned to sit it back down as soon as the game got going again.
Yeah.
But the way she approached me and talked to me, I was like, "Oh,
Well, if she would have came to you and said, hey, is everything okay? Or what's going on? Are you okay? Something like that, like how you said. And then, you know, you obviously would have been like, yeah, I'm fine. Everything's good. Why? What's going on? Well, you're standing. So I was just curious, is everything, like, if everything was okay? And she, you know, you'd be like, yeah, everything's fine. Like, and I guarantee you, she could have been like,
There
hey,
was a better
you could,
way."
You could. I feel uncomfortable with you standing up right here. Why don't you sit down with me?
There
Or hey,
was
will
a
you just sit
way-
down with
yeah,
me?
yeah.
That right there would have made you have no problem sitting down. I
bottom
guarantee
line,
it.
there was a way better way of her communicating with me.
Mm-hmm.
Why asked me why I was standing? I said, I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't get it at all. And I'm just not that type of man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm a good communicator. And I talked about last week, we talked about texting and, you know, one of our podcasts not too long ago about texting. And I'm not big on texting because I think people need to learn to communicate and talk. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel comfortable talking. Well, you need to learn
And
to talk.
it
in
can
some
be
big-
misinterpreted.
Yeah, and it
too.
could be misinterpreted. Texting, you know, just the other day I text somebody and it's like, what do you mean by that? Because again, quotation marks or how I put it.
Yeah.
The text came late and I
'cause
actually
I
did
even
look
said-
like I was saying something, you know,
A little
mean or rude.
yeah.
But I was like, no, I didn't mean it that way. I was like, man, see, this is this is why I don't text, man.
Well, see, even like, and I know a lot of guys that are around our generation are gonna understand this, but it's just like whenever I text you and you just send me K.
Yeah, you told me about that.
I got onto you for that because that in the
now
texting world.
Now I purposely, Frank, want to tell him K. Because you told me that.
Well, I just like I know it's because, and don't take this offensive. I know it's because you're not as technologically advanced in all that stuff because that's not something that you're caring
gaying,
about.
I mean, texting. what you
Your
saying?
generation gets a pass, and they don't even try with my generation.
Yeah, well, yeah, we.
Text, what the hell's that?
Well, it's just like those commercials we were watching. Was the progressive commercials that show how to not be like your parents and stuff like that?
Yeah,
We were
those
just
are funny,
watching
yeah.
that commercial. I mean, that's literally how it feels. So it's like I don't get mad. I'm not gonna get frustrated, but I'm just like, you know, if like say I was talking to somebody and you know they get mad, and they just send me K. I'm like, what the. Did you send me K? Like, dude, if you're gonna talk to me. Especially when women do it to me.
Yeah.
It kind of infuriates me because that's just being disrespectful at that point. That's like you putting your hand in my face and saying, "I don't want to talk to you anymore," and walking off.
that's bad.
That you can't do that to somebody and not expect them to have some sort of reaction, even if it's justified or not. I mean, you can't communicate in that manner. You have to really say, "Hey, I don't like that. I don't like that you did that. I'm mad. I'm upset. Give me a second. I'm gonna walk away. That's fine. I'm gonna say, hey, give me a second. Let me breathe and think about this real quick. I'm gonna come back and I'll text you whenever I'm done. That's cool. That's cool. But just send me K. Yeah, you're gonna make me mad.
Yeah, see, I try to stay away from the texting that period because again, I think communication is a lost art. I really feel people need to do that. And you know, I did 2 interviews not too long ago with 2 companies, and I really didn't feel I sold myself the way I would normally sell myself. I really didn't feel they got the F of who I am, you know. Because I just struggle with the video and communicating that way. I mean, I'm used to the show up at and Frank could do, the show up at an interview, handshake, make eye contact. I'm speaking to you direct. I'm sitting up right. I'm dressed right. Let's talk. That tells me when I interview people, that tells me a lot about an individual. So to do it on the video, man, I'm just like, it just throws me off, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you just lose a part of the person when you don't communicate right. You know? And I don't like it. I didn't like it, and I never will like it. And as a matter of fact, I got
because you lose a lot of the cues and stuff, social
Yes.
cues, that the things that really matter, like body language is very important whenever you're communicating too. Because a lot of people don't realize that. Like your posture. If I'm talking to you, and I'm like how I am right now, I'm sitting straighter up. I'm more engaged with listening and watching you talk. I'm not just looking over. I'm not like this. I'm not like, oh yeah. That's weird, because that's going to show a disinterest, and you're going to feel some type of way about it.
Yeah,
you without even saying, hey, I'm not interested in this, but you can still say it without saying it, and vice versa with other things. Hey, I'm really interested.
Yeah, like,
Hey, yes, sir. No, sir. Yeah, of course. That's going to show a real part of you.
Oh yeah, and the phones. Years back, this is way before I even met you guys. I came over here. I was in Lubbock, matter of fact, at the time, and met this girl online, on Facebook. Started chatting. Thought she was cute. Asked her out. She said, "Yeah, let's go."
You got
and we
catfished,
got
didn't
together.
you?
No. She's actually a real good-looking girl, and we got together with some other friends of mine, and we're sitting at table. This so and so, this so. We hung out a couple times. We was having a good time and stuff like that. But as we're carrying a conversation, all of us, she kept freaking going to her phone, and she's and I was driving me crazy, because to me, I think that's rude. You know what I'm saying? Don't be on your phone when you're at a table with people, especially when you're trying to, I guess, get to know somebody. You know what I'm saying? And she and I'm not talking about just glanced.
Yeah,
I'm talking about she stayed locked on that thing for a good while. You know what I'm saying?
She'd stay there, and then after a minute and two, then she'd put it down.
Yeah,
she'd stay there.
She'd stay there and stay there and stay there, like 20 minutes at a time.
Oh wow!
Like look up, say a few things. I was like, okay,
that shows
and I'm like, okay, she's finally getting it. She's finally carrying a conversation. She's finally talking, laughing at it, and boom, right back to it. And I was like, oh man.
Again, that comes down to that thing I talked about last week.
This girl asked me, I never asked her out again. I was like, man, that's just too much. I don't like that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And she asked me, it's like, so I guess we didn't see it was going to be a good fit. And I was like, no, it's good. I'm just not there where I'm going to develop a relationship. I should have told her the truth. Yeah, you're too damn long on your phone, god dang it.
Well, you should tell people the truth on stuff like that, because some people don't realize that they're being rude. They don't realize how easily it's perceived as another thing, because again, communication goes further than just what you say and how you say it. It goes with your feelings. It goes with your body language. All that stuff is so important. So if I'm sitting here talking to you, it shows disinterest. It shows that I'm not interested in anything you're saying, and that's not good.
It's divided attention. If you're on a date, and if guys don't know this, and if girls don't know this, when you're on a date, you shouldn't be on your phone at all, because that's divided attention. You give somebody your undivided attention, especially if you're trying to build something with them. So, my God, discipline yourself for 20 minutes. And if you can't do it, leave your damn phone in the pocket, or leave it at the house, or in the car.
If you have like a text message that comes up and you have to respond to it, hey, give me 1 second. Let me read this and let me respond. Give me 1 second. That right there will make me feel like you're respecting me enough to say, hey,
Is it okay if I take this? And I've had that before. Can I take this? Yeah, go for it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about
a lot more than a lot of people understand. That means that like makes you feel more important, more respected.
Yeah,
it really does.
But I think it's a more serious problem with everything. I told you the other day, last night, I went to a wedding, invited you to go. I watched a couple that were married. I found out they were married. And the whole time, I'm talking, this is a wedding. They got great food. Had great food, by the way. You should have gone.
I know. I'm regretting it.
DJ, a good light show. Plenty of single women, men there too, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't good like that. And I watched this married couple. They were in front of me. I'm talking the whole time. They hardly said any words to each other, and they were just on the phones. Wow. And I'm like, man, this is sad.
Yeah.
This is sad. And that's not the first time. I remember, and even this is years back when really the phones were coming out. I was married at that time, and I've been single for like 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
I was at a restaurant. I remember sitting with my wife, and I was looking at this young couple, and the lady's sitting there, basically with the kid, and the guy was on his phone the whole time. You know what I'm saying? We were waiting for a good 20 minutes. We ended up getting the same table because it was a Japanese restaurant, right? And watched the guy. Couldn't help myself. You know, I'm getting material basically for teaching.
Yeah.
He is on the phone the whole time. Hardly said a word to his woman. His woman just sitting there and playing with the kid. And once in a while, she made an attempt to reach over to talk to him. And he just like answer a question and boom, right back to the phone. This is bad, man. This is bad.
Well, I mean, if you're at home and you're doing that and you're in the privacy of your home and maybe things are going on, I can understand, you know, wanting to be on your phone and all that stuff. You want to relax and take a step away, but even that's bad. Like, you shouldn't be treating your significant other in that manner because that shows a disrespect in some sort of form, in my opinion.
Let's get Frank. What do you think about that? How do you and Gretchen spend y'all's time here? If you don't mind me asking.
How we spend our time up here?
Well,
No,
let's
in
say when
general.
you're in here. Let's say when you're in the studio, y'all doing y'all's thing. You know, they enjoy singing, they enjoy recording themselves and gospels and everything like that. Great. It always sounds like a great time. But do y'all spend your time actually talking, or y'all spend your time on the phone every 5 minutes you got?
Oh no, phone would be an intrusion, absolute intrusion. No,
Love that
even
word,
if you're not-
intrusion.
even if you're not particularly egotistical, like somebody other than me, you'd still like to feel like you're more important than a freaking phone, or more interesting. Maybe important's the wrong word. I'd like to think I'm more interesting than a phone.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, right?
No, that's true.
Yeah, and I could always tell when I'm looking at Facebook. I could always tell who's just totally in front because they're totally posting. If you're posting that much, that means you're on the phone that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know people that just once in a blue moon. Matter of fact, I was shocked when they post something. I'm like, oh shoot, they posted something. You know what I'm saying? Because they're never
That
on
would
the phone,
be me,
which
yeah.
tells me they don't spend that much time on it. You know what I'm saying?
Either that or they do spend a lot of time on it, but they don't like sharing what they see.
Maybe not. Like
'Cause
you,
they're-
I don't see that many posts from you. I've seen more lately
Yeah,
than I
dude.
had when I first met you. You hardly had anything.
Well,
it was
that's
like one
'cause-
picture
that's 'cause
from
I have
20
two
years ago, and
Facebooks.
all suddenly just boom. Did something happen?
I
You
have
okay?
two Facebooks.
Oh, you have two Facebooks. Well, the one I'm a friend on you with.
Yeah.
I
That's
got
my
two
real name.
Facebooks.
God, so gay.
Well, I do. I used to involve myself in what they consider illegal activities, so we have to tell them that it's filmed in Mexico because it obviously was filmed in Mexico,
Is that
so
the
it's
one
not
video
illegal.
I watched.
No, it's like just us doing our tricks on the bikes and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's-
They get mad
No
at that,
animals involved.
and they use that information to try to get us in trouble. And I mean, we're not doing anything really like dangerous to anybody else but ourselves. But they, government has to make their paycheck.
Okay.
So I keep myself away from being seen in that narrative, so that a way it just relieves that problem. I'm sure that if they really wanted to, they would look into it,
guess
they'd find it. But
We'll bring it back to the point. I mean, the point is, I saw you have a Facebook and you hardly put anything on it. So that tells me it's not a guy that's addicted to his phone.
I am.
You know what I'm saying?
I am.
Well, then you're not addicted to Facebook because
No,
You know what I'm
I just like watching videos. I get bored so easily.
I enjoy watching videos when once my day is done and I lay
Yeah.
down. You know what I'm saying? I like watching Instagram videos because they got you got a lot of different topics on there and stuff like that. Some of the videos are like, man, it's good stuff. Some videos we really enjoy to see. You know what I'm saying? And some of them are just so dumb, and I'm like, why wouldn't even post? This?
I mean, just like the two videos that we like last week and this week's podcast, we have videos that came from what we were doing. It's kind of a big deal for us. So that's something that intrigued us. So of course we wouldn't have had those videos if we weren't on Facebook.
You know what? I got a video for you that we talked about, and it falls on the line of communication.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know exactly
this
what you're talking about.
so
Go ahead.
it's a wedding.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead
a
and
wedding.
explain what happened.
And it's a wedding, and they're doing their vows. Okay, and in the vows, the preacher, the pastor, the reverend, the minister, the bishop, whatever the case may be, is asking the girl. You know what I'm saying? She's her part to do her vows. So, do you promise to take this man? Do you promise to love, honor, and obey? And when she obeyed, she was like,
That wasn't. No, she said that wasn't it. That's not what we talked about.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Just,
And
you
like
know,
she was so upset about it.
do you promise to be with in the good and in the bad, through sickness and the health, for richer and for poorer, and she looked at him again like,
You better not go poor. I think she made that comment.
and she opened her mouth, she looks around, everybody's laughing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's funny at all. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it kind of is in a sense of like
It is funny,
Like
it's like
that's really how it's comical in a certain way, but it's not.
But it just goes to
attractive.
show, woman, you're about to marry this man. Did you not talk to him about this stuff? And vice versa, woman, man, you're about to marry this woman. Did you not talk to her about? Did you not catch this?
I guarantee you, if a woman did that to me on the wedding day, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'll see you later. Have a great day.
I'll be like,
bye.
well, but see, I'll be like, that's your fault because you didn't take the time to learn the kind of woman you're hooking up with for the rest of your life and giving your vows to.
Yeah, but
again, I still always feel it's always on the man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
However,
They
again,
have to accept
I mean,
responsibility.
well,
There should have been communication
yeah,
to create
here's the whole
that.
point: is the communication. She act like she's never heard this before. Never been to a wedding, never heard vows. They always say richer or for poor.
And they
You know what I'm
always
saying?
say
and they'll love, honor,
love.
and obey.
Yep.
That's like, I have
big
it
part of
memorized
it.
in my mind when I do a wedding. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and the fact that she was reacting all like, it's like, are you serious? Did y'all not talk about this?
But that's the thing though. That comes down to with communication. The fact that she was hesitant communicated how she truly felt. It took her a whole. It should have took him a whole 5 seconds to be like, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in us working out, why is that a problem?
I believe it or not, but that's not the moment to discuss that. You know,
No,
so
it's not. But but I mean, I'll say this. I'm not saying it's true, but in some cases, well, not for that instance, but in some cases, I mean, I get that you'll be like, you're nervous, you're excited, and all these emotions, especially a woman, because a wedding day is more for the women than it is the men. I mean, yes, the men do enjoy it, obviously, but it's the woman's day. It's her day,
No, I
and
agree.
they really want that. And so, yes, I can see how they can get excited and all this stuff, and then all these emotions just pour out on that stage because they're feeling all of the happiness, joy, scared, all those emotions that are going to come with it. I get where you could be like a little hesitant in the sense of like excited or forgetting what to say or something of that matter.
I give you that because I mean, even yesterday, it was they're very very green. They had absolutely nobody to help coordinate them, and I was like, okay, what do y'all want to do? And they started discussing. He was like, well, I think this, and I think that. I said, I'm sorry, brother. Traditionally, is whatever the bride wants. So what do you want to do? And she was like, can we do? I said, we can do anything you want. What can we start? Can we start it? I was like, you can start whenever you want. You are the bride. This is your day. We follow you.
Yep.
And she was like, all right. She got excited after
Made
a while.
her happy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that communication part is real. And you know how bad people don't communicate? I'll tell you how bad. And I remember this because back when I was affiliated with this church, and when I would do a wedding, our church would say, hey, we want you to always do this questionnaire. So it's like, all right, I'll do a questionnaire. And the questionnaires are like, how many kids do you plan to have? Okay, and they would say, who do you plan to spend the holidays with? You know what I'm saying? And how often do you want to have sex a week? It would really like get down.
into things that you wanted.
And you would fill it, she would fill it out, and he would fill it out, and we get it back to where are you going to live? Are you going to live here, or are you going to live somewhere else? And you know what, dude? As shocked as I thought it was like basic stuff you should already know.
Yeah, you should know about each other.
They would have different questions. I only have one. I want to have one kid. I want to have 5. 3 times a week. Once. I mean, it's like sex 1 time a week, every day. I was like, we're gonna live here. We're gonna move back to Phoenix. I mean, they were like totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna spend it with my mom. My mom's old, and it's like we're gonna spend it with my parents 1 year. But it just goes to show you how much stuff people don't talk about in
That's
relationships. And I was like, you guys really need
You
to
just
sit
figure
down.
it out at the end instead of actually like having a plan for it.
And the whole purpose to show them, have y'all really discussed this? Of course, when they show up, it's like, yeah, we talked about it. Okay, we're gonna answer these questions, answer them to see that's how much y'all on the same page.
Yeah.
They were never on the same page. You know what I'm saying? And
That's actually a good point. I think that I should probably next to relationship I get in, I should probably start thinking about
could you fill
that.
out this questionnaire, please?
No. I don't mean it in that way, but I think I should start asking the right questions the right way because
Well, here's this.
that communication is going to teach me that person, and my
I
goal
said,
is to spend the rest
I've
of my
always
life
said-
with somebody.
Being compatible, Kelton, is very important. How do you know when a person is compatible? Is by asking questions, getting the answers, and don't change your answer. Don't change what you want to, what you think, just because it's a good-looking woman or a good-looking man. And that's what happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? If I say I don't like this, and that's like, well, I do believe in that. Well, it's not that I don't like it. It's because I just think sometimes, but I could grow to like it. No, I don't like it. Period. You like it? I don't.
Yeah.
Period. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's just like, for instance, if someone's attracted to doing drugs, and they like doing it, but you don't like doing it, and they're like, well, I like doing it, so I'm gonna keep doing this. And you're getting in a relationship with this person, and obviously, drugs are gonna harm a relationship regardless.
There's some things you do not compromise.
But if you do not like that, and they keep doing it, and you're like, and you continue to be around, and you're like, oh, I'm sure she's gonna change. She's not obviously going to change.
Yeah.
She's going to keep doing what she wants to do. So why are you trying to change something in her life?
Exactly.
She's going to keep doing it, and you're going to keep getting hurt, and you're going to keep being upset about it. And it's never going to change. Why even allow it the first time? Because the first time you allow it to happen, it's going to continue.
Exactly. Me, I got a deal breaker. If you smoke or get high, not my type of one.
Smoke like drugs?
Weed, yeah. Weed.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Weed. I don't like it, never will like it, never agree with it. Whether people like it, it's your business. You want to do it. I'm not saying. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like if they smoke cigarettes.
That either.
I can't
and
stand
that's
it.
one of the ones that I won't. You know what I'm saying?
cannot stand it.
I won't. I'm not going to compromise that. I'm not going to fold on that. I'm not going to get used to that.
You could be the most amazing woman in this world for me. And if you
it.
smoke cigarettes, I'm sorry, but it's just something I will not be okay with.
This is funny. So last night I saw a woman from across the crowded room. Have you heard that, Frank? Yeah. I saw a woman from across the crowded room. She had the look that I liked, Latina. She had that, I would say, booty power. I mean, I was like, all right. And
she had the assets
so I
that you were
tapped
attracted
my buddy,
to.
And I was like, hey, by the door, because he was the girl. So he kind of knew what I meant already. So he looks, he's like, all right, yeah. I was like, okay, man. So he goes, what are you going to do? I was like, give me a little bit, and I'm going to go talk to her. Okay. Yeah. As we were having that conversation, I'll say she broke out a cigarette and threw it above. They're like, no, that's it.
Yeah, we're done.
And he was like, hey, man, well, you can teach. I was like, no, dude, that's a deal breaker. That's done right there.
The thing is,
that's a couple.
I shouldn't have to teach you how to be in that manner. Like, you shouldn't, if you're smoking cigarettes and I don't like you smoking cigarettes, I shouldn't have to do that. Plus, it's not right for me to come into your life and tell you how to live your life either.
Yeah.
Like, neither one of those things are okay to do. Like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. I shouldn't just accept it and move on. Okay, sorry, it doesn't.
I don't even try because, but I'm going to communicate that from the very beginning. Here, I'm going to give you one more case scenario and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I saw a video this morning, and the guy is buying it. There's several videos out like that, and they say some are staged, some are not. I don't know, but
it doesn't matter.
They've been catching my attention and stuff like that, where a man is giving his wife a vehicle for their birthday. And
was it the Porsche?
I don't know what it was. I think this was more like a Jeep. It was more like a Jeep. And I guess he sat her in the vehicle and had the blindfold, took the blindfold, and she looks at the vehicle and she's like, starts screaming. She's all excited. And I think she's Caucasian, he's black. And she's all like, yeah, thank you, honey. And they go outside the car, and she gives him a hug. Then she turns around and sees it from the outside. And then she's like, she starts crying. And him and his bro that's recording says she's crying, man. She's crying. It's like, oh, honey. And then she's like, this is not the right color. You know what color I like. Yeah. No. And he's like, baby, but look, it's this. It's what? She goes, no. She starts, and then she runs into the house. And I'm like,
how do you not notice that
well, he blindfolded her. Like I said, opened the blindfold when she was in the car.
So she was excited while she was in it because she's seen everything inside, and then once she got outside, that she
saw the color,
and that okay, that makes more sense. I was like,
I was upset.
How the heck did she not see that? I
was mad.
I still don't think.
Started crying, and ran off inside the house, Frank.
Yeah,
so I'm like, okay, I know we're talking about communication, so it's like, all right, something's wrong here because I'm pretty sure he knows her favorite color. But even if he didn't get the right color,
well, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to find
really
things like that.
Upset about getting a brand new vehicle. This was a brand new one.
Yeah.
For your birthday, which I know people that would be satisfied with just a $50 certificate.
The thing is, there's so much thought into that already.
Yes.
Because you got to think maybe he sacrificed the color for all the upgrades that she needed, because
would
that was
think
the only
so.
one in a certain radius of area that has the exact thing she wanted, like the heated seats,
Exactly.
the Panasonic window on top, all that stuff, the moonroof, the skylights, or whatever it is that she wanted.
Unappreciated when women are complaining that their men are like this and like that. Don't give them this. Don't give them attention. Don't give them time. Don't help. Don't appreciate them. Don't everything. And then you're gonna be upset because a man bought you a brand new vehicle and it wasn't the right color.
Well, see, I seen a video that was about.
What?
I seen a video that was kind of similar in a manner. So this guy, he went and got a Porsche, like a Cayenne, the SUV style ones, and it was a 2018, I believe, or 2019, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It was newer. I mean, it was nice. I mean, it looked amazing, and obviously it was real clean. They did a deal. They brought it to her, to the house, and they brought her out. And it's the same body style given. It's the same exact body style as a 2023. The exact same kind. So, there's no real difference in the way it looks versus the new ones that may have upgrades internally, but look wise it's the same. So he does that. He brings it over there, and then he goes, gets his girl, blindfolds her, pulls her out, and she's all excited about it. And she's like, first question she says though, she's like, "Oh, this is nice. What year model is this?" That's the first thing she asks, and he's like, "Well, it's 2018. No. You take it back. You take it back. I wanted a 2023." And he's literally like explaining to her, like, "Hey, this is the exact same car.
Yeah.
It's just a little older. It doesn't even have but like 10,000 miles on it." She's like, "No, I want it with under 1,000 miles on it. It shouldn't even have 100 on it. Like, how dare you? How are you gonna bring this and disrespect me this way and bring this to me like this?" And I'm just like, dude, she is communicating to you that she is not appreciating this gesture you gave her.
Well, apparently there was no communication there at all, because how could it do that? I just don't understand it. I can't fathom doing that for somebody you love, and then knowing that people are recording because it's something they want to record, and see the spouse's excitement on it, and then you turn around and disrespect an individual, whether it be man or woman, I don't care, that way.
Yeah, and it's the man's responsibility to see that those emotional cues that communicates to you, like, because it's not just, like I said, words aren't the only
I'm
thing.
pretty sure that wasn't the first time too.
No, absolutely not. And that's where it comes down to. Like, if you can't communicate and understand the communication at that, if you can't read the room, you can't read the body language, all that stuff, you're not going to go far in a relationship. You're really not. You're going to fall into a situation you probably ain't going to like.
And I think that is a big issue. And because it's a big issue, I took the time to really study that. I even bought a book on communication. Communicate. Body language. When a person says this, what kind of person they are, how they, like a sanguine and everything. Introvert.
Yeah.
Introvert.
We talked about that
An
before.
introvert don't say much. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to learn how to communicate. Because even if they don't like something, they ain't going to say nothing. Even when they're happy, they rarely say anything. They're very hard people to deal with, those introverts.
A lot of those guys are anybody that introvert. You have to learn to read their body language.
Yeah. So if you don't know body language, you're like, okay,
You're not
this woman's
gonna-
just hard to get. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just an introvert.
Yeah.
Vice versa with men.
it's
He's
so
not
important
fun.
to
He's
know
boring.
those.
No, it's not. It's not that he's not fun or boring. It's that he's an introvert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's so important to sit there and actually like understand communication. Communication isn't just how you talk to people; it's how it's received as well. So, if like the texting and the body language, and they're saying this without actually saying this at some point, that's still communicating. It's still the way that we're perceiving it. Yeah. Communication is so big.
And what I like about the video is at the end, she not only told him, "Hey, this is where you're wrong, woman." This is what he's hearing. Nang, 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 nang. You need to learn to do this. And you need
he
to
got onto the guy.
Yeah, you get a gun. I like when they're balanced like that. I
Yeah.
hate when they're one-sided, but, she was right about her and she was right about him. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's communication involves two people at the
I don't like
lowest
the
level.
piano, though. I just didn't like the piano. I think that was Hollywood, Frank. But I think that was a good topic.
I think we're going to have to expand on this because this is definitely, it's always been a good topic.
Yeah.
There's just
I
so
like
much to it.
I want to watch a couple more videos this way. We'll talk about that. I think we're going to go that route for a little
Yeah,
bit. What do you
I think that's a good idea.
All right. Frank, you got anything to say on this?
No, another good show.
Then just in case you forgot, my name is Miguel Perez.
And I'm Kels.
We're at Airplay Studios. Thank you, Frank. Always doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Thank you, fellas. Godspeed.
God bless.